Okay guys, so today now what we're going to be looking at is subtraction of integers on a number line. So let's say our problem that we have is we have positive 8 minus negative 2. So when we're using a number line, we always start and we're subtracting. So this is not for subtracting. This is only for subtracting. When we add, we start at 0 on our number line. We go 0 to whatever number we need to go to and then continue. But when we're subtracting, we start at the second number. And in this case, it's negative 2. So we start at negative 2, and then we draw an arrow to our first term, which in this case is positive 8. Okay, so we have positive 8. So from negative 2 to positive 8. And if we count the spaces between the two of them, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we can see that our answer is positive 10 because our arrow is going to the right. So when our arrow on our number line points to the right, we have a positive number. When our arrow on the number line points to the left, we have a negative number. Now the other thing that I want you guys to realize is that in subtraction, when you have two negatives like this, right next to each other, you add the opposite. These two negatives, a negative and a negative, make a positive. So in subtraction, a negative and a negative right next to each other make a positive. And 8 plus 2, we've done before on the number line. If we were to do that, we would just start at 0, go to 8, and then we would add 1, 2, and it still takes us to positive 10. Do you see that? So like I said, anytime you have a negative and a negative next to each other, so if I have 5, positive 5, minus negative 3, a negative and a negative in subtraction make a positive. 5 plus negative 3 make an 8. And at the same time, or if I look, if I do that on the number line, where we had 5 plus negative 3, okay, so that's what we had. This originally was positive 5 plus negative 3, sorry, positive 5 minus negative 3. We start at the second term on our number line, which is negative 3, and we draw a line all the way to the 5. And that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So both of these, whether we have positive 5 minus negative 3, and the two negatives make a positive, give us an 8, or if we just use the number line method, we still end up with positive 8. Both of these are positive 8. So I hope this is helping you guys figure out the whole issue with number lines. So subtraction is pretty straightforward. Okay, so we'll do another example. So we're reading from the page. So let's say our arrow was negative 2 to negative 6. Okay, so negative 2 to negative 6. Okay, so if we had negative 6 minus negative 2, like we said, what we would do is we draw an arrow from our second number, which in this case is negative 2, to our first term, which is negative 6. And the spaces in between is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 spaces. So I know my answer is 4, but my arrow is pointing to the left. So I know it's supposed to be negative 4. Okay? So even if I had negative 8 minus negative 2, it's the exact same thing. I have my second term, which is negative 2. I move my arrow to negative 8. I look how many spaces I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My answer is 6, but because my arrow is pointing to the left, it's negative 6. And also, as you guys can see, these two negative symbols are right next to each other. A negative and a negative make a positive when they're right next to each other like this. And if I decided to add them on the number line using the arrow, well, I go from 0, I draw a line from 0 to negative 6, and then from there I add 2. 1, 2, which gives me negative 4. And again, if I were to go from negative 8, draw a line, and add 2. 1, 2, negative 6. So I hope this helps you guys figure out how to add and subtract with number lines, these 3 videos together. I hope this makes your life easier and helps you guys study. If you have any questions, you know you can come see me during tutorials every day 2 and day 6. And that's pretty much it. So have a good day, guys, and see you later.